Hello everyone and welcome to our weather update on Saturday, March 7th, 2026. So this morning we have clear spells across Ireland, Scotland and Northern England. Elsewhere it's been quite cloudy over many areas of England and into East Wales, and with that profile then it's been a bit too mild for frost in many areas of England. But for parts of Scotland, Wales, Northern England, and parts of Ireland as well, it's been close to or below freezing with some frost patches around. Now, this week has been very interesting in terms of temperatures. It's been spring. Spring is notorious for being fickle. So in terms of temperatures, it can be cold one day, then hot, not hot, then mild or warm the next day, and then colder again the following day. So it's been very up and down. So for those of you in parts of England, especially eastern England, temperatures I know have reached 19 degrees on Thursday. Meanwhile, at that point, it was 2 or 3 degrees in parts of eastern Ireland, with sleet and snow falling locally, and especially over higher ground. Even down to low levels in parts of the southeast on Thursday afternoon, there was like properly mixed rain and snow. Yeah, so that's what spring is like. It's really fickle, and there are huge contrasts and variations in temperatures day to day, place to place, and yeah, it always keeps me on my toes anyway. So moving on then to this morning's high risk chart then. So you can see again, clearer weather over Scotland, parts of Wales, Northern England, Ireland, cloudier for parts of England, and really things won't change that much through the day, except for the fact that rain will edge in to parts of the west. Now, overnight tonight, again, clear spells are starting to get squeezed in to one zone. So it gets cloudier for parts of Ireland, Scotland, but it stays clear for eastern Scotland, the far north of England, and eastern Ireland. So that is where the sunshine starts on Sunday. In those areas, some clouds and patchy light rain again for parts of England and Wales. And this rain does move into parts of Ireland and Scotland into tomorrow, Sunday. Now, tomorrow evening, clear spells become very, very minimised as cloud thickens across most areas away from parts of eastern Scotland there into Sunday night. And we're going to Monday here, and we just see quite a messy picture overall. Clouds, some patches of rain and drizzle on a southerly airflow, but that means that at least it should be frost-free. Monday itself, again, some bright spells might break out towards the end of the day, in parts of Wales and England, but otherwise it's quite cloudy. Again, some patches of light rain and drizzle. Tuesday is quite similar, but into Wednesday we see a front coming in, so that brings heavier rain for a time and gustier winds across all areas, and that clears to sunshine and a few showers on Wednesday afternoon. And into Thursday and Friday, there are hints that lower pressure and westerly winds might take hold as we go through that period here. Also, I want to go back and look at I want to look at this imagery from the satellite, because although it's not that clear at this time of the morning due to the fact that the sun's only rising, it's about 7 o'clock, you can see that there's this misty pattern to our east, and that is indicative of Saharan dust that has been wafted northwards on that southerly we saw earlier this week. It has since cleared away from Ireland and many areas of the UK, but I think that today some eastern areas of England still have that dust in. There's something dodgy with the satellites on this website. Okay, here we go. We're back to this. Okay, fine. So yeah, many areas of France, Low Countries, Germany currently have that Saharan dust in place. And again, parts of eastern England. Now, yesterday evening, an area of rain did push northwards across parts of England. And if you live in that region, it's worth checking your cars this morning, because you might notice that there's some dust left on your car. That's dust that's wafted all the way up from the Sahara into our atmosphere. Rain falls and it ends up on the cars. But yeah, just something of note there. Not really that harmful, but just something to note. So here is our temperature forecast then. So currently, it's been frosty over parts of Eastern Ireland, Scotland, Northern England, and through today, Saturday, temperatures about 9 to 12 degrees, so about average really, nothing extraordinary. And frosty locally, again, in the same spots tomorrow morning. A bit milder tomorrow in some areas. Now, Monday and Tuesday should be frost-free. By day temperatures, about 10 to 14 or 15 degrees both days. And into Wednesday, well, a bit cooler with a more westerly airflow. And Thursday and Friday, we'll see more westerly winds next. So here's the GFS 18Z run. The midnight run has not come out. So here we go. Okay, high pressure is to the east currently, with low pressure to the west. And through the next few days, low pressure will make attempts at rolling in. However, they won't really do so until about midweek next week. And as we go towards the end of the week, well, we see increasingly deep low pressure to our north and towards us in Greenland, and that will strengthen the westerly winds and bring showers and longer spells of rain from the west. Briefly cooler as well around next Saturday. Then beyond that, into St. Patrick's weekend, well, more westerly winds come through, and it just keeps westerly. Nothing doing. Slight attempt there by the 20th to become drier and brighter. Not warm, not cold, just a bit drier. Upper temperatures, well, upper temperatures are sort of like about 0 to -5 Celsius, so that's not really that warm and cold. And as we go through beyond that, well, westerly winds break through again. So nothing comes of that attempt. Here's the ECM. ECM, once again, high pressure is currently over the country, but will be challenged by areas of low pressure from the west. Monday, Tuesday, kind of benign, cloudy, misty, drizzly. But Wednesday, Thursday, we see low pressure gearing up properly to our north, and stronger westerly winds come through with showers and longer spells of rain. By next weekend, possibly cooler for a time, and a bit brighter on Sunday and Monday as well. And actually on this run, St. Patrick's Day, we got a slight attempt again at a high pressure to our east, but like as it is, I think that's still going to be quite wet and quite chilly as well. Here is the UK Met run. Here is the UK Met again. So high pressure is to the east of the country. For now, it is having an influence on the weather. It's quite dry and bright, but it will become increasingly cloudy, if it's not already, over the next few days. And westerly winds will break through with conviction into the end of next week. You can look at that deep low to the north. That's proper wet and windy. And we enter the start of the weekend looking showery and cooler. Here's the GEM. GEM, once again, high pressure to the east through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now again, this is the GEM 12 set from yesterday because the midnight run is not updated. I don't know what's wrong. And, well, again, westerly winds just get that bit stronger through the week before the Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. Look at that. GEM is probably the most unsettled out of them all. Deep low pressure right to the north. Strong westerly winds. Also quite cool with that as we go into Thursday and Friday. So some showers might go wintry even. And we go into the weekend. Well, again, like high pressures well away to our west and southwest. Low pressures to our north. Outplunge those westerly winds. Warm sectors and cold sectors alternating with one another. And these contrasts in temperature will just mean that we see plenty of rain piling in there from the west. So joyful. Quite cold there by next Sunday again with that -5 ice storm plunging through the country. And I think that low right there will do it for us all over again into St. Patrick's Day. Lovely. So this brief blip in the westerly winds, especially for those of you across eastern England, won't last long. It's coming to an end. Here's the icon. Well, again, so high pressure is slowly being shunted away to the east through the weekends as the jet stream and areas of low pressure gear up pace to our west. And, well, there's something wrong there, isn't there? Yes, there is. So it flips between Saturday's and Friday's chart. So that one is for Saturday. That's today. That is from yesterday's model run, so ignore those. And that's from Thursday's. So I don't know what's wrong with this website. Earlier this week it crashed. So, and I couldn't get onto it at all. So I'm not sure what's wrong with this, but I hope they get it sorted out. Anyway, so we're back to this morning's model. And again, by Friday, we've got westerly winds, quite chilly as well, and showery. And we end up by Saturday, showery, with more areas of low pressure waiting to our west. Jet stream is powered up. And this is the icon, and this is the arpege. Okay, so again, high pressure's over the country to the east. Again, that's a blip in the model. I don't know why. And again, it's a blip. Right, we end up next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with westerly winds once again gathering pace. Apologies, I don't know what's wrong with this morning. But in some regards, it's quite similar to how I am in the mornings. Dublin, let's look at the ensemble data. So, this is the latest GFS. Yes, it is Saturday, March 7th at midnight. Okay, we're fine. This is not broken or anything. Okay, this graph at least. Right, so currently above average, well, about average really, with the upper temperatures, cooler. Currently we are under high pressure, so temperatures really depend on where you see sunshine. So as we've said before, it's frosty in those areas that are clear this morning, whereas it's less cold in the cloudy zones. But equally by day, where we see sunshine, you will feel the warmth of the sun better than those of you stuck under cloud. Like for example here, 12 degrees in Ireland where it's sunny, or sunnier anyway. And same can be said for northern Scotland with some fun effects there. But again, like 8 degrees for like Birmingham under clouds. So we go into next week then. So about average temperatures going right through to about Thursday, Friday, until they do collapse down to about -4 Celsius on average. So quite chilly for a while through next weekends. And beyond that, staying quite chilly overall until about the 20th. Then they go, in either way, they go down again. And also that's longer range and that's plenty of time away. It's a lot to get through, before that. But yeah, so if you've been enjoying this spell of drier, more spring-like weather, unfortunately it's coming to an end now. But it is only March 7th, and there's plenty more spring and summer months to come. Also of note, we have seen an SSW, and that can result in higher pressure forming in higher latitudes. Not guaranteed, but just an increased likelihood of it, especially 2 or 3 weeks down the line. That can mean many different outcomes depending on where that high is set up. So for example, back in 2018, when we saw that beast from the east, the high pressure was over Scandinavia, big high pressure up there, unlocked winds in from the east, and that was epic. Other years, I think like 2018-19, there was a warming again, but we didn't really see any influence at all. So it does depend on the year. And actually, we will look back at just how perfect that was. Here's the chart archive. Get rid of you. And we're back to about 28th of February or the 1st of March 2018. Yeah, that's what you need for a beach from the east. High pressure to our north, Greenland, out towards Scandinavia, into Siberia and Kazakhstan. And low pressure to our south over Biscay. In come these ferociously cold easterly winds, -10 to -15 ice storm. Bitter, true cold. I wonder when we will next see that. I wonder when. But yeah, even if we see an easterly wind a few weeks down the line, it is now March, and by that point it would be like March 20th or beyond, and it'd be way too, I think we'd be way too far into spring to see anything of that degree. Anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. It's we'll see what happens. Time will tell, as ever. With these warming events, possibly an effect, but possibly not either. It just depends on exactly where that blocking sits, if it even forms. Anyway, I'll sign off now. I'll see you. Bye for now.